Welcome to Secular Soup. Stay tuned for real talk about atheism, feminism, politics, parenting, and whatever the fuck else Amy and Amy want to talk about, because this is their show. And get ready for a whole lot of motherfucking profanity.
You want to hear a secret?
I won't tell anybody. Go ahead. If I sit next to you, I'm going to get gonorrhea. It's going to jump into me. Just two ladies hanging out.
Is it okay for me to make fun of his neck waddle if I make fun of my own neck waddle?
I'm not sure.
That's a real ethical conundrum.
Would you know if you were born a lizard person, or can you be like adopted into the...
I think you know.
We're such professionals.
We really are.
Buckle up, bitches. It's time to have some soup.
I'm Amy with a Y.
And I'm Amy with an I.
And we're just two blueberries floating in a bowl of flawless sound production soup. That was a really good fade. I'm impressed. You're finally nailing it.
Finally. It only took me a
couple of tries, a couple of tries. You'll be happy to know that the whole time that song was playing, I was taking selfies. So
I have not taken
hopefully I got a good one
today. That's fine.
Yeah, you're usually the one taking selfies. I forget to do it. And now I can stare at my pictures.
I'm just a hoe, so
Yeah.
I have a Facebook ban. It's related to what we're talking about, but I have a Facebook ban pretty much constantly right now. And my mom, who's consistently, mean, said that it's because I post so many selfies. Facebook banned me.
Has she met Facebook?
And I was like, no, they actually encourage that. They love my selfie game. So that's not it. It's because of other issues I'll talk about later. But yeah.
My problem is I have this narcissist complex where I take a picture and then I stare at myself. Like, look at that. Like after I do enough filters and shit to make it gorgeous.
Yes. And I have a shit ton of makeup out right now, so I need to.
Oh, look at this. I made it.
Document it.
Bra strap, classy. Anyway,
see, I'm all bra straps. Like I'm like, oh, look, bra straps.
Yeah, but mine's
classy.
an old lady bra strap. Mine's like a Soma bra strap, not a sexy one. So with my puppy shirt. So we were going to discuss. What were we going to discuss? Oh, Facebook bans, because Amy can't keep her potty mouth clean on Facebook.
I can't,
and she keeps getting in trouble.
And so right now I've had 24-hour bans multiple times. But this time, because I am an admin for 3 separate groups and I have my own pages because of all of the company pages, not only did I get a 24-hour ban, but I couldn't comment or do anything in those pages for 3 days.
That hurt.
And then on top of that, well, I didn't tell you about it because you would just tag me and everything at the time. I did not tell you about it because I know you would just fuck around with me. You'd be like, Amy can't do anything about this. blah, blah, blah. So it was like, on top of that, I had 22 days that I'm in the lower news feed. I have no idea what that means because I still get all my, so I did a test.
Oh,
I changed
so people can't see your stuff as much.
But I did a test. I posted a meme right after I got the notification that I was going to be in the lower news feed. I have like just as many likes and comments as normal. So it doesn't actually hurt my feelings.
I have noticed lately that my stuff isn't getting commented on or liked as much, which then I'm like, does that just mean the quality of my content has gone down?
Probably.
Or is Facebook fucking with me and nobody can see me
Are you
anymore?
in the lower news feeds?
I don't know.
I don't even know what that means.
Or how to, I mean, Facebook didn't tell me, like, we're pushing you down to the bottom of the barrel.
They told me that. They were like, you're not going to be in the upper news feed where you normally are. I'm like, okay, thank you for telling me I was popular.
Yeah,
and
right?
Now I'm not.
I just assumed I was naturally hysterical. People tell me they love me on Facebook, and now all of a sudden I post something and I have to wait like 15 minutes to get a like. I need self-validation, especially with this Wordle thing. Like,
okay, today I just figured out how to share. Like, you have to copy it to your clipboard and then post it onto Facebook. I didn't know that.
Well, you don't
proud that I
on mine,
got it in 3. Well, I tried just sharing it to Facebook, but I don't have an iPhone, so maybe that's not why. Maybe that's why.
That's dumb. Yeah.
So,
I got it the past 2 fucking days. I've gotten it in the second row,
well,
and
according to Noah Illusions,
feel like
you're
a wizard.
Cheater. You're a cheating liar.
No. He said if you get it on the second try, 6 days in a row. It's only been 2, so
okay. I got it in 3 today, and that's only because the word I did right before had 3 of the same letters, and 2 of them were out of order, but they had the right end letter. And so I was able to guess based on what was left, and so it was contextual. Like that was it. But that's the only reason I was able to get it too.
Did you try Sweardle yet?
No.
It's Wordle with swear words.
Well, if no one's watching this live, I can tell you what I said because it's already afterwards. It's after the fact. So I did the word. Well, my first word was drive, and because I was trying to get like all the E's and the I's and stuff, and then my second word was color, and that's an R at the end, and an O, and an L, and so I was able to, and the L was in the right place, and the R was in the right place, so I was able to figure it out from that.
See, I did reach was my first word. And so I knew there was an R and an A, but they were both in the wrong spot. So I'm like, an R must go at the end then, because that's like the consonant, and then it's got a vowel, but it doesn't have an E, so you can
see. And that's what I was saying. It doesn't have an E.
Yeah. So it was such a lucky guess. It doesn't have an I. I'm just like,
and then I was like, the S is still available, and so I got all excited that S was available. And I was sitting there thinking, and that's what I was able to get it.
I got lucky. I got lucky yesterday too. The day before that, when it was Abby,
I got that one in 3 tries.
Well, that was I think I got it in 3 too, but that's because it was the day we had just gotten back from the cities, and I had my son sitting there on the chair screaming words at me that started with AB. Like he just went to a website and he's like, Abbott, Abby, Emma. He's just reading them, and I'm like, no, it can't be that. No, it can't be that. No, it can't. And then I'm like, ooh, it could be Abby.
That's why I tried color, because I was like, well, maybe there's 2 O's. I don't know.
Color's very close. I mean, it's Anyway,
Wordle. Right, so we're talking about it's all right. It's just once though, and I'm obsessive, and I like to do things over and over again all day. So I found another site. I'll send it to you. That's basically Wordle, but you can do it all day long, and you can make it longer if it's a whole. Yeah, because I do I do color. I do happy color, and I just color pictures all day long while I'm working.
Yeah.
So
we were going to talk about consequences for women and
so I'm a bully. Essentially, according to Facebook, I have a history of bullying, and so I have been flagged. So anytime I post anything it's jokes too, and I will dispute them, and they'll like come back to me 10 minutes later like, yeah, no, you're a bully. But I'm not. Like Amy got in trouble one time for calling me a bitch in a joking way.
Bitch is the word that will get you banned on Facebook now. Yeah. I've done it more than once. You cannot use bitch anymore, and it makes me so angry. Like,
I did. I say beaches now, or beach. But if you do the number 1 or an exclamation point, Facebook knows what that means. It tries to change it to bitch, and they'll catch you.
God damn it!
Mine was I shared a meme about I'm almost perfect. I just have one more person to beat up before I reach perfection. With the meme I shared. And, the people in the comments were joking around like, ha, 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 whatever. And only one was the comment I got like 20 times. And then, but this one friend said, I bet a lot of our list are similar. Like my local friend. And I said, tell you what, we'll trade our list. I'll beat up your people. You beat up mine. And that comment.
What?
I got flagged for that comment, and I got a 24-hour ban. 3-day ban for my groups, and then the 22-day lower feeds because it's my 3rd offense.
Okay, I would just want to point out to the audience at home that I have a beast on me right now.
But so Dawn wants to know how we're supposed to tell a cunt to get fucked.
I have no idea.
Like honestly, Facebook won't let us say anything.
Or a twat. Like how are
hands are tied.
I use
the other
bitch
time I got in
so
trouble
often.
Was I said I kind of hate Christians. Because Christians, it was an article where Christians were being stupid and Christian-y. And I said, I kind of hate Christians after reading that. And the portion that said, I kind of hate Christians was flagged as hate speech.
Oh, yeah. At least they told you. They didn't tell me the last 2 times what I did.
I softened it with kind of. Like,
hey, I got banned the first time for saying lazy-ass Canadians.
Because they're lazy Canadians.
Right? I was just telling the truth. And I was talking about one specific lazy-ass Canadian
Was it someone who he was?
And it was Matt. Matt from Canada, because he's from Canada. Like, so I blame him now for getting my first ban because
My first ban was a dirty picture that I totally deserved.
Oh, well, yeah, no. I did not
It wasn't
deserve
my
any of my
meme.
bans.
It was not my meme, but it was flagged as inappropriate because they went back through all of those Facebook groups before there were any regulations and flagged pictures and things that you had posted.
And they did stuff in private messages too.
It was a private. Oh no, I haven't. I hope not, because I have all kinds of shit.
I got one of my last times I got in trouble. It specified that it can also be things you say in your private messages.
I sent all kinds of things.
And like, oh yeah, messages. You should. Man, I'm in a thread group, a private thread group, and it's all.
I'm in a lot of private groups.
Bitch. I mean, that's why they're fun. I don't understand. So I was saying this earlier, well, through text. I don't understand how we have all of this technology that like, okay, literally earlier my son has this communist hat. It's amazing.
Yeah, I've seen the communist
Yeah, he brought it upstairs and traded it with my other son. It was a whole thing. So I had looked at it, and then about an hour later, I'm scrolling through Facebook, and there's a picture of a kid with that communist hat on. Not my kid.
Did he have it on?
Just some other kid.
So, but were you looking for it online? No. Were you talking about it?
No, I'm convinced that my Google speaker just heard me. I don't know. Who knows? But somehow, coincidence or not, that happened, and they can tell me, what kind of dog food I need after I've mentioned a dog one time, but they can't figure out how to make like an algorithm that can detect context.
Or just hire one person that can read the thread and see that I'm not being a bully.
Yes,
that I'm joking with my friend.
How does a human being not look?
There's not a human being. It's just
I know. It's all algorithms, but like
it is.
You should be able to, if you want a review, they should make a person look at that, and it should be a person who has a sense of humor.
So I had this option to send mine. It said, if you want a further review, you have 24 hours or something to submit this to a third party, and you'll get your answer back in 3 to 4 months. I have a 24-hour ban. Like, why am I going to do that?
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, I didn't want to call it censorship, because that's such a negative word, and especially like the Republicans kind of like grabbed onto that with the Facebook censorship because their feelings are being hurt.
Yeah.
So I wanted to call it like regulations, and because it is a private entity, it is a private company. Sure. They can do whatever they want, but don't label me a bully. And well, so the problem I have is I've seen some outrageous hate speech towards like people of color, and especially when Obama was in office, like there's all kinds of stuff. And I didn't see any of that getting flagged ever. But if a white woman says, I hate white men, or white men suck, or even WYTE,
I said I hate America once. I'm an American, and I said I hate America, and I got in trouble for that one.
I mean, America sucks. It's the worst. That's why I tell my kids, I'm like, we're the bad guys.
We are.
In every cartoon movie, we're the bad guys.
Yeah, we're not great.
Yeah, that's pretty much where I have a problem with. It's very protective of white men and Christians, and and so I'm in the lower feeds, which sucks, but it's fine. I just have that restriction on my Facebook.
I have an article that I was going to read to prove this point, but I forgot it upstairs, so I have now texted 2 of the males in my house to bring it to me.
Good.
Oh, here comes one of them.
Good.
Hello? Yeah, there's no light in here. Just give me the article. Thank you.
Is it 2 out of 3 of them?
One of them got the message, so here we go. So sorry for all the crinkling. This is from a local paper. You're reading
an article.
I'm literally reading an article. This is from a local paper.
I don't even know what a paper is anymore.
This person is a cousin of my husband's. Now, for context,
small town.
This is a small town. The last name is Watuki, which is every small town has a couple of notorious last names, right? And this is one of the ones from the town my husband grew up in. So keep in mind that the police probably had seen him before, knew of him. But I'm going to read this, and I want you to listen to how this interaction with the police went down, and tell me how you think it might have gone down differently had this person not been a white male. So you see if you can find it. Here we go.
Okay.
So basically, so I don't have to read the whole thing, basically, he's 39, and he stole a truck from a place he used to work at. So he worked there for like a week, and then he stole the truck. And so they were looking for the truck, and one of the cops saw him on the highway and was like, oh, that's the truck. I'm going to follow this guy.
Right.
Followed him into a gas station. So the driver, identified as Watuki, was advised to show his hands. He did not immediately comply, and when Watuki continued to ignore commands, the officer approached the vehicle and opened the driver's door, ordering Watuki to get out in the process. He pulled the door back shut and rolled up his window, at which time the officer drew a firearm, backed up a few paces, and again ordered Watuki to get out of the vehicle. Watuki continued to be argumentative.
Of course he was. All those Watukis are argumentative.
They're terrible. Let me tell you. The officer asked him to open the window or the window would be broken, at which time Watuki complied and was handcuffed. He insisted the owner had given him permission to use the truck and that he intended to return it after completing a job. A search of the vehicle was conducted, during which drug paraphernalia, heroin, and methamphetamine were found.
Oh, well, that explains it. Of
course they were. But, like, this dude pulled the door shut again after the cop opened it.
All right, if he were black,
what?
He would be shot. Dragged
he would have
out.
Been dead within 10 seconds of that incident.
Dragged out
and
restrained.
Right? At least pepper sprayed something. Like
well, there was one time
how
I was talking to Gentleman Caller the other day, and I was like, I'm white and I'm female, so really? I know. Yeah. So there are a couple of times where I've been pulled over, and I've literally told the cops no to what they've asked me to do. Mm-hmm. The only reason I can get away with it is because
you're white and female.
Who I am. Yeah.
Right.
Like there was one time this cop told me to get out of the car, and I told him, no, you're wasting my time. Just give me my ticket.
Oh,
He saw my driver's license and wanted me to prove how tall I was. Fuck that noise.
Oh,
no,
wow.
Give me the fucking ticket.
Mm-hmm.
And he told me that. That was what he told me. He was like, I want to see how tall you actually are. I'm like, it's on my driver's license. You don't need to see me in person. I'm right here. And he was like, get out of the car. I'm like, no, you can't ask me that. Give me my ticket or let me go. Those are your options. Like my child is screaming in the back seat. Meanwhile, because he has a double ear infection. I got a ticket for not wearing my seatbelt correctly. Because it was behind me. I never do.
Well, yeah, that's not correctly. I mean,
it was behind me. It's not according to the manufacturer's whatever. I was like, okay, whatever. Just give me the ticket. I'll get it thrown out. I'll see you in court, and y'all get it thrown out, and then you'll feel real stupid because you wasted my time. You asked me to get out of the car. Like I was arguing with him, like hardcore.
Wow. So, I've only been pulled over twice in my life.
Oh, the second time
when I was younger. No, the first time I was 16. The second time I want to say I was not much older than that.
I got
both times. Once. I stared sobbing, and that's what got me out of trouble.
See, I just fight with them.
Which is
one time I ran away from them. I ran away once, and they didn't shoot me in the back. So
wow, you ran from the cops.
I did. So
and you lived to tell the tale.
Yeah, because I am a redheaded female. So I was in a high school parking lot after midnight with this other female. It feels weird saying the word female.
Yeah.
With another young chick. I don't know what I'm supposed to say instead. But so we were hanging out at this high school parking lot, but it was just because we were like doing donut holes or donuts. We were just doing donuts in our car. I don't know. I was just doing donuts and we were just hanging out. And then we were just sitting on the steps talking because she was someone I worked with at Six Flags back when I was like a teenager. And so we were just talking, and the cops pulled up, and I freaked out and booked it across the parking lot and went and hid in the bushes. And the cop chased me down. He was like, "Why are you running? You guys are just sitting there talking." And I was like, "I don't know." And he was like, "Don't run from the cops. Rule number 1, don't run from." Like he just kind of like dadded me.
Yeah.
And
I could see
I
that.
cried, and then he sent me home, and we were like sober. No weed was there. Like we were literally just nerdy chicks sitting on a concrete chair or step, just like,
yeah.
I don't know.
Both times I got pulled over, I cried because I was genuinely that nervous because I'm a Minnesotan and there was going to be a
I've
conflict,
cried
and
out
I
of a
was just
ticket.
like, oh my God, what's even happening?
I've cried
So,
hard out of a ticket before. Well, there was one time I was pulled
know.
over. I was speeding. I'd just gotten a rental car. It was the week of hell. Like my ex-husband was in a coma. I've told this whole, I don't know if I've told the story. My ex-husband was in a coma. He got out of the coma. He got out of the hospital. We were in a head-on collision like 3 days later. My car was totaled. So I was getting the rental car, and I was switching from like a minivan to a giant like Escalade or something that was heavier. And I tapped the gas, and it sped, like it jerked up, and I was going like 20 miles over the speed limit right after they left the parking lot of the rental place. And the cop popped me right there. Like literally turned out of the rental place, and he popped me, and I just started sobbing because my husband was back in the hospital after the car accident. This is the whole thing. So I was sobbing, and I was showing him pictures of my car, and I was telling him about my ex-husband. Well, he was my husband at the time. I was telling him about my husband in the hospital, and I was just sobbing. He was like, stop crying. Stop crying. He was like 20. He was like, don't cry. It's okay. I'll let you go. Just drive home safely. It's okay. Stop crying. He just kept saying, stop crying. I'm like, I can't. It was like, so much crying. And I was like, and I just left that Enterprise right there. And he was like, it's okay. It's okay. This car is heavier than your van. Drive slower. Don't hit the gas.
Yeah, the first time I was driving home from my boyfriend's house and I was already late. So getting pulled over was just not gonna be great. So I sobbed, and I'm just supposed to be how my parents are expecting me, and I'm
in so much trouble.
Yeah,
that's
so
right there.
He's like, you know what? Slow down. Just I'm gonna let you go. But yeah, I mentioned this earlier when we were texting too. Like, a lot of people find it easy to say, well, if you don't like what the private company's doing, just don't use it.
Just leave it. Oh,
just leave. You shouldn't use Facebook anyway. And it's like these places have become
literally where all of our people
homes.
are.
These are our online homes. Like, and it's different sites for different people. For me, it's Facebook because it works the way I like it to work. It doesn't move too fast.
According to my children, it's because we're boomers.
Because we're boomers.
They say that get off Facebook, boomer.
Okay, boomer.
And I was like, where am I supposed to be? And they're like, Discord?
Yeah, Discord sucks.
I've been on Discord. I was on Discord before they were even born. And
Discord's going to be not cool in like 2 minutes. So anyway.
I'm like, what am I supposed to do? For a lot of people, Snapchat? And they're like,
yeah, Snapchat was over a decade ago.
But you can send tits and they delete. So
yeah. Well, so all of these, social platforms, these are where people cultivate relationships. Like you've got all of these friendships and all of these people that you talk to on a daily basis.
I wouldn't have met you if we weren't on Facebook.
No, there's
so many people have been like my friends, like my really close friends, my family.
That you meet in real life.
Like have a close relationship with my actual family.
Mm-hmm.
Like my brother and sister are great, but I live far away from them. They live very far away. My brother's like 3 hours away. My sister's like, 3.5 hours away. 4 hours away. My parents are like 7 hours away, whatever. They're far away from me. So I have a local family group. Like it's just, that's what I have.
It's such a great way for people who are completely estranged from their family.
Well, yeah,
to build their own little family.
I don't drive that 7 hours to my mom and dad very often because they are very Republican. They are very Mormon. And the older my mom gets, she used to have, I guess she was nicer when she was younger because she wasn't in so much pain and she'd like, I don't know. But now she's just mean. Like she's just, she's a mean person. And so she'll just, every time she calls me, she thinks it's funny to make me cry or to make me upset. And
like, that's not fun.
When she comments on my Facebook stuff, I actually have to hide her comments because she replied to my friends and she says that it's funny. She wants to knock people down a peg. I'm like, but why? Like, But like she
Unless
thinks
it's Willis. I mean,
although
he can
it's
always get knocked down a peg,
she
but
called me last week for my birthday because, you know, I turned 27 or 28 last week.
Again,
I
yeah.
can't remember math. So she called me for my birthday and it was okay. The most of the phone call was okay. But at the end, she told me that she got kicked out of her high school graduation Facebook group because she was too mean.
I mean, that's saying
like,
something. I bet those bitches were terrible.
You got kicked out.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, so are you going to be nicer on Facebook? And she was like, hell no. I'm like, okay.
Is this a Texas group? Because
no, my
they're
mom is
even
Mormon.
meaner in Texas. Okay.
No, she's from Utah. And bitches, Utah bitches, Mormons, they're mean.
Really?
So yeah, no, she yeah.
Interesting.
She got kicked out. She was very proud of that. She was on speakerphone with my dad and she was like bragging about it. And
wow.
I laughed very hard about it. She also told me that if I liked AOC, I'm not her daughter. And I was like, well, you should start shopping around then.
I was going to say, I don't how.
Sorry.
That's not how biology works, but.
She was talking about someone being super right wing at their church. And they used the statement, she's so right wing, she's shaking hands with the left. And I was like, that's not how directions work. No. But I guess that means that they're extreme and they're extreme. And so they're both like crazy extreme. And then there's like a party where they're extreme town.
Well,
I don't know.
I mean, there is
I don't know.
There is a whole theory.
There's an overlap.
Round, and that if eventually reactionaries come back to being reactionary.
I get it. I don't think I don't know. But it made me kind of pause. And I was like, okay. And then she was like that chick. She's just a bunch of letters. What's her name? And my dad was like, AOC. And she was like, yeah. AOC.
They have turned her into such a boogeyman.
If you like AOC, she started telling like AOC jokes and like all kinds of like talking shit about her. And then my dad was like, well, what if she likes her? You can't make jokes like that to your daughter on her birthday. And she was like, if she likes AOC, she's not even my real daughter. And I was like, sorry. Like,
I mean, to be fair,
I don't really care.
I've told my son, if you don't
other.
like musicals, are you even my child?
Right, but it doesn't work that way. Like I've told my kids the same thing. Yeah. So that's pretty much it. Like I don't even know.
Just adjusting. Yeah. I don't know if you know how much I love cake, but it's something about me that most of my friends know. I'm obsessed with cake.
What kind of cake?
Just cake. Love cake.
So if you would actually come to my birthday party, that lemon cake at my birthday party.
Oh God, I love a lemon cake.
It was a lemon 7-Up cake, like a bundt cake. It was amazing. Absolutely delicious. And no one sang happy birthday to me because I said, I don't really like that. I don't want to be sung to. I don't want everybody to stand there and look at me and take video of me.
I was singing it from the car.
I appreciate that. But everybody was like, I don't want that. I was in the pool, which was heated in January, which was awesome. So I was in the pool. My friend brought me a slice of cake to the pool. So I had pool cake, which made me feel absolutely decadent. I'm sitting there with my Jameson and my pool cake. And,
I have been collecting.
And no one sang to me.
Nice. I have been collecting vintage cake tins for a while now, and I have them displayed up above my kitchen counters.
Of course you have a penis.
And today, one of them flew off the counter and almost attacked my son while he was standing at the sink.
Do you have Ghost?
So I think I either have ghosts or I've got somehow like the spirit of Lin-Manuel Miranda or musicals in my kitchen.
He's alive.
Going, what is wrong with you for liking Encanto but not Hamilton?
Okay.
And the whole cake thing, just metal cake tin went flying off the
Where was it, like up on top of the counter, the cupboards?
Above the kitchen cabinets.
Above the cupboards, like up on top.
Yes, above the cupboards. Yep.
You say cabinets. That's interesting. Okay.
Cupboard. I mean, we say cupboards too. I don't know. I like the word cabinet better.
Cabinet sounds better. It's like spectacles instead of glasses. I get it.
Yeah, I mean,
because then you can do spectacle testicles while at lunch.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Anyway, so yeah, we have ghosts. I don't know what the point of that story is.
So we had
the cake is attacking my child.
We had this house where my brother had like these bookshelves up in his bedroom, like three rows of them, like up, like the floating bookshelves, just full of books. And there was one day we walked in his room and it was literally like the opening scene of Ghostbusters where the books are flying across the room. And all of us were just standing, like my parents, all of my siblings were all just standing in the doorway like, what is happening? Because my parents clearly believe in ghosts because they're Mormon.
Yeah.
And so, but my brother and I were like, like all of us were kind of like skeptical even then. And so we got up there, we started looking, it was a freaking snake. Because it was slithering and it knocked, like the tail knocked. And as it was going, it would knock and the book was flying. It kept doing it. So it was his pet. Like it was a not a ball python. It was a Texas rat snake. But it was in the thing and it had gotten out of its cage and it was doing that. And so his name from then on was Poltergeist. Because
that's
I'm
gross.
not saying you have a snake, but you might have a snake.
Better not. I mean, it's dead winter in Minnesota, so if there's
so
a
it would
snake,
be inside your house. That's where it would be.
Yes, I thought snakes like dug down into the earth and slept all winter.
Or go into your
I could be making that up. I don't know.
They don't dig.
Or in my kitchen making cake pans fly onto the floor and hit my kid in the head.
It could be a snake. So Don he just posted he posted a lot of comments, but I ignored the rest of them.
Yes, I can't see them. This is all Don. Amy with an eye. Ignore her.
Yeah, I just couldn't see them all. But he said that I'm really curious as to who's more passive aggressive, Utah Mormons or Minnesotans.
Oh,
I think they would invite each other over for cake and scones and not tea, because Mormons don't drink tea. It would be like, I don't know, Red Bulls.
I feel like the Minnesota contingent would be more of the passive, and the Utahs would be the aggressives in the passive aggressive.
Yeah, probably.
They'd make a good team.
It would be like a scary. I kind of want to see them team up and solve crime.
Yeah,
because they're like, they walk into the like crime scene and they're like, no, go ahead, no, you go first. Oh my gosh, I guess I'll go.
Fine. That would be an excellent TV show.
I would listen to that. Shit out of that show.
I have been listening to on Audible. There's an Audible only podcast about the Black Dahlia.
Oh yeah,
and I fucking love crime, so I've been listening to it. And it's not a great podcast. Like the guy who does it, voice is very meh, kind of snobby. Like it's fine. It's 6 episodes long.
Perfectly okay.
It's really just kind of about his journey.
Did you ever listen to the Black Tapes? No.
What's that?
Okay, it's fiction, but it's a fictionalized mystery, like horror mystery,
like a Black Dahlia.
Well, so if you listen to these tapes, you will die.
Oh yeah, no.
But it's so
stupid.
It's super.
I'm just gonna shit all over your idea.
No, but it's so well done. The acting's well done. The whole story is well done. It's just really, I enjoyed that one.
Well, I have been having trouble sleeping for ages. So what I like to do is listen to an interesting true crime podcast to keep me awake.
The Orange Tree.
Even longer. Oh, I heard The Orange Tree is amazing. But this
that's
one,
put out by the same people. That was put out by the University of Austin.
Yeah. This one, you get to episode 6 and he finally tells you who he thinks the actual murder is, and it makes perfect sense. But then I'm like, well, now I got to look it up on my phone and see if I can find this. So then I'm awake again and just like Googling this person to see if I can find pictures or I
started this book series. It's a fantasy book series, and it's based off of Beauty and the Beast, but it's like a new take on it. Like she was dragged through the wall, whatever, like taken as prize, whatever. But she rejected the first beast and then went through it again with the second beast. It's fun.
Is it a Gregory Maguire book?
No. It's called The Wicked. Court of Thorn and Roses. And I'm in the 3rd book, and it's actually delightful. Like
I am listening to
Christina recommended it, and it's delightful.
I'm listening to the true story of the capture of Israel Keyes, America's most prolific and yet least known serial killer. Scary as fuck.
I just listened to a book on the first woman serial killer.
Was it Eileen Wuornos?
Nope. Jane, the nurse.
Oh, that's right. You told me that. The nurse. Yeah. Israel Keyes is fucked up. And
yeah, it is.
Oh my God, this I've just been listening to it again before I sleep every night because it helps lull me into sleep, learning about these murders bit by bit every night. But no, he's if you're gonna be a murderer, like if you have to be a serial killer, do it right. Israel Keys did it right. Like he knew what he was doing. He kept kill kits all over the country so he wouldn't have to buy his supplies when he got there.
Yep.
So there would be no footage of him buying shit. He left the bodies in different states.
He was very brilliant. He covered all his tracks.
I'm amazed
there was another one. I actually think I would contest that she was the first American serial killer. There was this lady who was, she would get mail order husbands, or she would answer mail order bride ones, and she'd show up with a giant trunk. I can't remember her name. It was on Sword and Stone. Yes. It was on Sword and Stone, which we don't listen to anymore.
Yeah. Sword and Scale.
Sword and Scale. Yeah, we don't listen to that show anymore.
Don't listen to that anymore.
Yeah, don't listen to that one. But it was the first episode I listened to when I listened to that show, and she would just travel the country and just murder the whole family. Belle Gunness.
I think
she was fantastic.
She lured tons of men to her house.
Keep their bones in her trunk. And
she married them and murdered them. And then she would send for another one. Or there'd be a traveler.
She would take over their farm.
She'd kill that one.
She would take over their farm, and then she would travel to another location and take over that farm.
How else are you going to get ahead back in the 1800s as a woman? You know
exactly. I think
if you're going to do something, do it right. I'm just saying. I'm
really not liking my job, so I'm wondering what I'm going to do. Do I want to get a trunk?
Travel the world as a serial killer. You could become a cowboy in Montana. I've watched all of Yellowstone now.
I have not watched it yet because I don't want to.
It took half of season 1 to really get into.
Have you watched Acapulco yet?
No. Although I still have a note sitting on my table that says Acapulco.
You have to watch Acapulco because it's so delightful.
But I just finished Cheer. Next week, we're going to talk about Cheer, by the way. So if you've been watching Cheer on Netflix, it has so many layers of shit going on.
I watched the Hillside Strangler thing on Discovery Plus this weekend, or on Friday.
I don't think I've seen that.
It wasn't a great documentary. And the Hillside Strangler were 2 people. So, spoiler.
It's not that interesting of a crime.
It wasn't that interesting of a crime, and it wasn't that interesting of a documentary. The Cecil Hotel, I wish I could go back in time and delete my brain and rewatch that one, because that one was had me riveted.
I was like riveted. That one, and then did you see the other one that came out in that same series? There was Cecil Hotel, and they just did another one. It was we talked about this last week, the Times Square murders, and there was so much history of porn in Times Square and not enough murder.
There was one that was
I don't want to watch a murder show with less murder in it.
It was gay prostitutes in England. That killer was better. I can't remember the name of that one. I'll have to go back through my Netflix history because that's what I watch.
There are tons of quotes in here that could be taken really out of context, or in context. They're also terrible because we're terrible people.
It's okay.
I really love murder shows so much. I'm still not done with.
Well, that's why I downloaded Discovery Plus on my phone so I can watch that while I'm working.
I should do that because I've really run out of murder shows. And my husband is now watching the murder shows I watched a year ago, but he's just getting around to doing it now. And is really excited he's watching the Son of Sam one now. That one was weird and all over the place.
So do you think it's more than one person?
I don't know.
I
got to the whole end of it and went, that was I don't care by the end of it. Maybe.
So that one,
that
we talked about this. The family that died in the circle was the best one.
Yes, that was amazing.
That one was super amazing. And I watched that one in the middle of the night because I couldn't sleep. So I started at 3 a.m.
Makes sense.
And then I just kept watching it while I worked.
When you can't sleep, watch murder, listen to murder. It really helps lull you.
I don't listen to any murder mysteries anymore on my phone. I'm listening to
I usually don't either. I haven't listened to much, except The Man from the Train. I know I've said it before.
I'll have to listen to that one.
Everybody listen to The Man from the Train.
Okay.
And then I want to start a Man from the Train discussion group where we can just talk about that book nonstop because it is
okay. I'll listen to bananas. I saw The Girl on the Train, but that one was
no. The Man from the Train.
The Man from the Train.
True story. Yes. Serial killer all over America, Belle Gunness style, but a man.
How can he even be a man in America?
I don't know. Well, I mean, they're taking away the right to be a man, really, if you think about it.
I really feel bad for them for having to wear mask.
I know, right? How are you supposed to look cool with a chin diaper on your face?
Oh my gosh.
How are the chicks going to know you're badass if you're wearing a mask? You look really cool dead.
So there was one time I was feeling extra salty at the liquor store. It's a little place I visit occasionally. All the employees are like, nice to see you again. It's been a while. I'm like, it's been 3 weeks. Calm down.
It's been 2 days. Where you been?
Calm down, bitch. And then I get a liquor store ban. No, I don't. They do not give me a liquor store ban.
Oh God, no. They'll never kick you out of the liquor store.
No, but there was this guy that was walking around. He didn't have a mask on, and he was like scoffing at me, and I looked at him. I was like, I wouldn't talk to you anyway.
Great way to win chicks.
Yeah, I was just like, I just laughed at him. I was like, no, dude, I'm not gonna talk to you. Just
I do not understand what it is that makes men think that they're fundamentally less attractive. I mean, listen, nobody looks. I take that back. Some people do look better with a mask on.
Yeah, they absolutely do.
But in general, none of us want to be wearing one. We all think we look ridiculous in them. But I also don't want to die. So
my favorite thing that I've been doing lately is like there's all these dudes that are walking in, like, let's be real, it's usually just a liquor store, and I take my mask off when I'm coming out, and they notice that I'm like not a gargoyle, and I'm just like, and I look at them and I'm like, wear a mask, and they're just like,
nice. That is nice. See, I can't do that because I'm Minnesotan.
Oh no, I love it. My new thing is I love like talking shit to people right in their faces.
Oh God, because that's my biggest fear.
What are they gonna do? Are they gonna punch me? Maybe.
It's my biggest fear. They might not like me.
I don't care. Like, I don't care anymore. Now that I'm over 28, I no longer care that people like me.
I wish I could get over that.
So it's kind of fun. Like, I'm like, I wasn't going to talk to you anyway, but you should probably wear a mask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm basically quarantining again at this point.
Oh, me too. Like, my birthday party was my last thing, and I was outside the entire time, pretty much. Like, I went in, I got food, and I went back outside, which I'm glad of, because 2 people that were at my party popped positive for COVID on Monday. My party was Saturday night, so I was a little concerned. My criminal attorney could not show up because she tested positive.
Wait, have you been murdering people again?
No, but I bring her around we go out, we hang out all the time. We hang out all the time, and I tell people, I'm like, I just bring her around just in case.
It's probably not a bad idea.
She's like actually one of my best friends, but I refer to her as my criminal attorney.
My criminal attorney.
So I'm gonna wrap things up because it's been about
an hour. I
remembered
remembered to actually do. Yes. Pull up the patrons.
Awesome.
I didn't remember it. I did it while you were yapping.
And I just
ignored you for a while and pulled up the patron list. So
that's fair.
If you would like to become a patron, you can find us on patreon.com/secularsoup, or you can give us some or all of your money. We use that.
There's
money
only one right option.
Yes. Fair. So yeah, Amy.
I also don't want to work anymore. I got some for my birthday.
Yeah.
So
I just need to buy. I buy lots of abortions and cats. That's pretty much my whole budget is abortions and cats. So if you pledge at the $6.66 a month or higher level, you will get a shout out by moi every single week, straight to your ear holes. So the 666 and above patrons are, here we go, Don Ford, voice of fantasy and adventure. Aaron, one of my favorite real life people. Lois, a noble spirit embiggens the smallest man, a perfectly cromulent statement. Renee, April, New Year, new patron name, same great karaoke legend. Paul, Sarah. See, Paul sounds really boring after that.
Paul sounds way boring after that. It's like Paul. New Year, new karaoke.
And then Paul. Randall, still very much okay. Probably one of our favorites at this point, but very
honestly,
okay.
I really like Randall.
I love Randall a lot. Randall's fantastic. Randall's the only one hanging in there in our premiere.
Let's be real.
Group.
Does he live in Florida? He lives in Florida.
Does he live in Florida? I thought he was like in Ohio or something. Oh God, we're terrible.
In my brain,
we're
Randall lives
bad
in
people.
I'm probably wrong.
I think you're wrong. Life in the Left Lane podcast, which
I don't know if don't tell them. I don't know if they know they're still there.
I'm pretty sure they forgot they are still pledging.
Because I walk in on Kevin recording with Gentleman Caller, and I'm just like, oh, fuck you, Kevin. They're like, you guys should come on the show. I'm like, why?
Oh no, you're thinking of a whole separate podcast. You were thinking of
nope, I am not.
Left at the Valley, not Life in the Left Lane.
Oh yeah, I am.
Life in the Left Lane are the other two that we had the most fun ever with. Yes,
that's the best episode we've ever done.
That's one of the best. Like, go back and find. At the time, they were Dumb All Over podcast. So
you're right. You are right.
Yes, go back and find our interview with Dumb All Over. It was the best thing ever.
Just shit talking Kevin for no reason.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin's easy to shit. I sent him broken crockery in the mail, Kevin. So I'll do it again, Kevin.
When you sent it?
Yes, I let my son smash it with a hammer, and then I mailed it. It was epic. It's the way we won that war. So
I have a shelf full of Canadian candy from him right now.
What?
And
I never got Canadian candy.
Sorry.
Son of a bitch, Kevin.
Okay, so the coffee candy bar, I'm really looking forward to trying.
Yeah, well, now we have a new podcast feud. So, or I guess the old one's back on because I never got any candy. Continuing with my list here, we have Yesh, Natalie, Wendy, Nuggin, Andy, and our, I'm going to say 99th favorite Rich, because Rich apparently has never had a fucking Cheddar Bay biscuit in his life.
Has he never been to Red Lobster?
Red Lobster. He is a lobster bisque patron, and yet he has never had a Red Lobster Cheddar Bay biscuit in his entire life. I saw the warning in
Secret Soup Talk. I was like, oh shit, he's gonna get talked about today.
Yes. Well, so my child.
I have no. What is it? Horse in this fight?
Dog in this fight? Yeah.
Mine is a horse. I trained a horse to fight.
My almost 12-year-old will not eat anything anymore. And so the other night I'm like, oh, I have Cheddar Bay biscuit mix. I haven't made it forever. So I made it, and I'm like, you were going to love this. Everybody on the planet loves these. There is nobody that exists who does not love Cheddar Bay biscuits. He was skeptical, but I made them, and he was like, oh, fuck yeah, and wanted like all of them and ate them.
Don wants us to point out that the only patron that showed up tonight was him.
Don Ford, voice of Fantasy and Adventure, is the only patron who showed up tonight. Really disappointed in Erin, gotta say. Come on, Erin.
Yeah, she's literally been on the show.
You didn't text me about anything during the show.
And Shmishtina doesn't always show up because she's moving, and she just got married. Congratulations.
Well, and this is why Rich is only our 99th favorite Rich, because he couldn't be bothered to show up, and he's not.
And I told her, I was like, I have a gift for you, because I do have a gift for her. But it's cold, and I may not want to leave my house, so I might give it to you tomorrow.
Okay.
It's not Minnesota cold.
Okay. The gift is not cold. It's you that's cold.
Well, she will already have it by the. It is the cutest thing ever. It is this little highball glass, because I frequent Total Wine, with a wiener dog on it, and the wiener dog is wearing a little sweater and a hat, and it is the cutest thing ever.
Oh my god.
It's so cute, because she has a wiener dog, and that's her baby. And
I have a friend with a wiener dog.
So I don't know if you've seen Waiting for Guffman.
Oh, I've seen Waiting for Guffman.
Okay. Her dog is named Corky St. Clair.
Oh my god. That's amazing.
My friend Shmishtina, who's a patron. Yeah, so that's her dog's name. So it's the cutest thing ever. So
have you seen, you can buy these, but you can also make them in vinyl. It's like a rear window for your car, like a little thing. And it looks like a dachshund with its tail, and your wiper on your rear windshield is the tail, and it goes back and forth. Anyway, that was a fun show.
It was super fun.
Join us next week, and we will talk all about Cheer.
After I watch it. I've never seen it.
I just finished season 2. Amy's got to binge all of it.
Amy was like, do you live by Corsicana or Athens? And so I had to look them up and find out where they're at. I'm like, no, I do not.
How did you not get on board the Cheer sensation 2 years ago when it came out on Netflix? Like, everybody was talking about it.
I was really busy
drinking. Listen, and it's not just about cheerleading.
I'm sure it wasn't.
All this drama involved, and then shit hits the fan for season 2. It's amazing. So
good. Is it better than The Witcher? Because I'm so bored. It's fine.
I didn't try The Witcher because it looks terrible, frankly.
So bored. All right, let me do the closing.
So yes, Amy will do the outro. Thank you for joining us. We will talk to you next week. Bye.
It's been great. It's been really, really, real.
It's been a time. Bye, Dawn.
Bye.
Thanks to all of you motherfuckers who put up with the Amy's droning on week after week. If you enjoy their delightful bitchcraft, please follow them on all of the social medias and send them all of your money on Patreon or PayPal. You can find them on these platforms by using the Google machine. It's not hard. If you want to bitch with other fans about the show, join the Secret Soup Talk Facebook group. If you want to tell Amy and Amy to fuck off personally, you can send an email to secularsouppodcast@gmail.com, although it may go unanswered. Please rate and review the show on iTunes, Facebook, and wherever else you can review things like this. It will help spread the soup gospel far and wide. And hey, text someone right now. Tell your friends. As always, we'll leave you with the vocal stylings of Mr. Eli Bosnick.
Secular soup creed. Soup is the ultimate virtue. It's delicious, nutritious, patriarchy smashing, racism fighting, warm and fuzzy, human affirming, fun having, anti-theist, glitter throwing, tummy satisfying, pair of new shoes fulfilling, diversity seeking, happiness. Minestrone, beef and barley, chicken broth and split pea, gazpacho, tomato, clam chowder and potato, chicken noodle, beef noodle, egg drop and ramen cup, miso, gumbo, leek and pho. Grab a bowl and taste the magic. Slurp even this.